water. Sweet, sweet water.
His voice is the exact opposite of that.
Remember when I had balls?
Actually, I want that to be his character's voice.
His voice. Oh dear. Alright, Abby, you ready?
Yeah. Probably.
Alrighty. James, you got a message.
I got a message. Oh.
We're going to start with Drew getting to
Oh, this
school.
is me getting a message.
So, Drew, you walk alone from your house to the school. You're a little bit earlier than everyone because you wanted to get there before other people so nobody noticed that you're alone. Is there anything you want to do on the way there?
I guess I'll keep an eye out for anyone else along the road. I mean, aside from that, no, I'll just head to the school.
I walk alone.
Okay. I'm doing this. It doesn't actually matter that much. Drew's 1. You're 2. Shane's 3, Abby's 4. We already did yours. Okay.
I'm 4.
I've rolled 3 1s in a row, and I'm just trying to figure out who's going to
I'm
go
only
next.
4 years old.
You're on a D4.
Not
Okay.
me.
Okay, it's going to be Shane. So Shane, you're on the way to the school. Your parents are walking with you, and your human mother who's very, very caring, and she's so excited. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so amazing. It's going to be so great. It's going to be great, sweetie, okay?
I'm fine. You've already checked my bags 3 times. Just let me go. I pat her on the head.
I just want to make sure. Okay. And your dad's very quiet about it. He's this green-scaled dragonborn. He's just kind of chuckling at her and pats you on the back. And, you'll do great. Yeah, go ahead.
I know,
You'll be fine.
I pat him on the back harder than I probably should have.
There are a few students that are already there that are just from other classes, other years. Some of them are a lot older than you. Some of them are the same age, but it's kind of hard to gauge with some of them. Some are really tall, but compared to you, they're still pretty short. So, you're going to keep going?
Oh, yeah. I head in and start making friends. Immediately go into the people that seem like they know what they're doing, run up to them and be like, hey, how's it going? High fives.
Friends.
Alright. Abby, you want to go next? Who's James?
James, because I'm not ready.
Alright.
Mentally.
Alright.
I'm never mentally ready.
You are sitting in a carriage drawn by one horse, but it's you're both of your human parents and your brother. You're all just sitting there. Your mom's, all right, now you need to behave. I need you to stay in your class. You cannot do anything different. Listen to the teacher. Just, if anything, come on, Eli. Just listen, okay? Your dad's, it's Susan. It's going to be fine. Just leave her be. Let her do her thing. She'll be fine. Leon, please keep her under control. Then they all just look at you, waiting to see what's your response to them.
Oh, behave.
They slowly just stop the cart right in front, and you and Leon both get out. Leon's helping you down, and then you slowly start heading into the... Are you going to go talk to anybody, or are you just going to shoot her? Alright, hiding in with your older brother. Alright, and then Abby.
Yes.
You get to the school. Your parents walk with you because you don't live very far away. You live, down the street from the town. So your mom's walking with you, and I don't know. I'm not going to be able to do the accent I want to do. In her Russian accent that I'm not going to do right now because my voice is not having it. Now, Shump, listen, be good. And every time she talks, her tusks are kind of just moving with her jaw. It looks kind of hilarious, but you're used to it. But your dad still looks at her and laughs a little bit. All right, now, Shump, you need to behave as well. We know we told you, but you just got to. And I know it's with your mother's wishes, so you need to stay in your class. I know as you get older, you're going to want to branch out. Please go to your bard classes. Please. And your mom's just sitting behind him nodding, like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted him to say. That's kind of in her face. So, do you have anything left to say to them before you start school?
I just snort. Like,
Alright. So they slowly just
like I'm gonna
stand
do
there
that.
and watch you walk up to the doors. Your dad's just kind of chuckling, patting your mom's back. Your mom's kind of trying not to cry because her baby's in school. She's so proud. And they're very happy, and your mom's, yes, she's finally gonna be what we want her to do. And then
Right.
a few more students are showing up everybody else, all your parents are leaving and everything, so you guys can head inside. The first room, I don't actually have a map of it right now, it's kind of just an empty room. It's just this giant circular room that's almost completely empty, but in the middle there is a spiral staircase with really square edges. So it has corners like crazy while you go up, but the inside is a spiral. And you can see there's somebody standing on a little platform right beside that looks pretty old, but he looks very healthy for his age. Like, he looks very old compared to, everybody else who's here, who is all under 20, and then this person's very much in charge. So you're all kind of either talking or hiding behind other people, and then this guy just very loudly, but it sounds like his voice is being pretty quiet. All right, everyone. Now, go ahead and separate by what year you are. So all of you first years are going to come over here. Second, third, and then you fourth years already know what you're doing. You can go ahead up to your classes. Third years can go after that.
First years! I run over to where he pointed.
You actually gonna do it?
Yeah, I go immediately wherever he told me to go, and I just start talking to whoever's around.
All of the first years are kind of crowded together, and there's a few little cliques. You can tell these people already know each other, and they came together. And then there's all the third and fourth years. The second years are kind of quietly greeting each other. They know what's going on, and then, all right, I know you're all excited. It's time to go ahead and give you a little rundown. I'm gonna walk with some of you up to the 8th floor. So I know you're gonna get tired. It's alright. The stairs don't feel as tall as they are. But we're all gonna sit down and we're gonna have basically homeroom, and then I'm gonna explain everything. So, fourth years, you know what classroom you're going to. It was in your letter. Third years, you will all be going to a classroom. To the Druid room, which you all know exactly where that is. So your first and second years are going to follow me up to the 2nd floor. So all the third years are quickly hustling through. The fourth years are already completely gone. And then he slowly comes down from his pedestal and starts walking. And he says a few things to students as he walks past them. They're mostly second years that he already knows. But his voice is a lot quieter. It doesn't feel as loud. And he's walking up the stairs, guiding you all up. And it feels like it's only 2 or 3 floors as you walk up the stairs. So you get to the 8th floor, and he separates you, and another teacher has come up with you to go talk to the second years. And you all sorted on a different side of the cafeteria. So, actually, I have a map.
Point of reference, I was in the back of the group. If anybody looked like they had some trouble getting up the stairs, I would pick them up and carry them without their consent. Just lift them up and keep going.
So there's pencil-drawn tables that are kind of visible. So you guys are on this side by my fingers. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 5 tables over there. You guys are all sitting in those tables, and then second years are on the other side because they already know what to do. So he's explaining, and he hands out a piece of paper to all of you that's kind of just a map of the school, and it's a bunch of little squares, and each square has a circle with the room divisions and everything, and all right, this room is on this floor, that kind of stuff. So there are only 3 or 4 floors visible on it, because not all of them are classrooms. So as you went up the stairs, if you would have peeked out the door, of the stairwell, there would have been like a label on the wall that says these classrooms are on this floor. But you guys are on the 8th floor, which is the cafeteria, and he tells you, all right, there's a lunch area on the other side for later. It is only like 8 in the morning, so you shouldn't be eating yet, hopefully. Sometimes we do have breakfast if you get up way early, which some people do, a lot of elves do, etc. First, you're going to have homeroom, which is with me, at least for this year. And then you will have your regular classes. You'll be separated from your friends. It'll be, all right, you are a bard, you're going to go work with them. And he starts listing a few others. It's kind of repetitive. And then you'll have lunch after several hours. You'll get to eat all you want, eat your heart out. There's plenty of food here. We'll have provided lunches. You'll be fine. And then you'll have either history, which most of that's going to be most of the week. And then you have we get to learn about all the beasts and stuff. You get to learn about the creatures you're going to fight, stuff like that. We already know what tomorrow's lesson's going to be, but that's not. And then after that, it'll be like 3 o'clock. You get, for you first years, you all have to show up. It's for an hour and a half. You'll be fine. It's you actually learning how to fight in combat, fighting with your fellow classmates to figure out teamwork and all that. But after the first week, you're all going to be in groups of 4. You're all going to get to learn how to work as your own team. All right?
When she mentions learn how to fight, I lean over to someone and say, "What's to know about stab?" But really quietly. Just...
Okay. Are you picking somebody who's like bigger than you, like in your class, or no? Just somebody.
No, I'm sizing up the other guys and trying to go with the biggest person I see, which I'm pretty sure happens to be Dorrin. So.
Yeah, but the sword, not a fight.
It might be Dorrin.
It's not all
I think
about
everybody else.
stabbing
Yeah,
friends.
it's definitely Dorrin.
Yeah.
The tallest person in the class other than him is only 6'3".
Yeah, I'd respond with, it's not all about stabbing friend.
I give I'm just like, okay. A nod, yeah.
All right, now I'm going to go ahead and call up the teachers, and they will all come get you and lead you to whatever class you will be going to. So he just kind of stands there quiet for a second, and people start talking to each other, talking amongst each other, and he is silent for a moment, and then he very quietly says, just a little whisper, and suddenly you can hear teachers walking up the stairs, coming out, and now coming online, and he starts pointing and saying, all right, now, all of you, fighters and barbarians, as fun as you all are, you now get to be whipped into shape by Miss Marsk. And he points over to her, and they're all lined up, ready, because they know what order he's going to go in. And then you can go to your bard. So, Abby, are you going to get up and go?
Follow, at the back.
And then the clerics and paladins, you can all head over to John. He'll take care of you. Druids, and he keeps going through the list.
Where do I go?
He's just kind of pointing to a spot on the edge.
And who am I with? Which group would I be with?
Clerics and paladins.
Okay.
Your teacher's name is John, and then
Cool.
Abby, your teacher's name is Gerard.
Wait,
I don't know.
John?
Spell that.
G-R-A-R-D.
Is that a reference to John of Arc or John?
John? Oh, no. It's just John.
Should have
What is it again?
Huh?
What is it again?
Oh, G-E-R-A-R-D.
Wait,
He goes through the entire...
E-A-R-A-R-G?
Oh.
I'm just going to hope that I spelled that right.
Yes, and then eventually he gets to the road, and you're being pointed to Katrina, which is this tabaxi. She has pure black fur and green eyes that are almost glowing. And she just has this little tiny smile, but you can barely tell because of her fur, because she's very fluffy, She's smiling a little bit on half of her face, like she is ready. She is excited.
Definitely catches my attention.
Pat the doggo.
Pat.
I resist the urge to pat the doggo
Pat.
because I'm afraid I will lose a hand if I try.
My
The
eyes
other one. I'll lose the other hand.
I
I
watch
tried.
Owen as he goes very, very closely. And then as soon as I see the teacher, my eyes are directly on her.
All right, Abby. I for some reason don't have you in Discord again, so it's just in the D&D section.
Wait, what?
It's in the D&D chat.
You could very easily
What
it.
is the
Press on
name?
the call and search her name, and then you
D&D.
can
I have to look at my phone for this.
And then
If I click that, will I leave
goes
the
through
chat?
one more, and then he just gets to the last two, and he's, all right, now sorcerers and warlocks, you can go with Mr. Honshu, and he'll take care of you, and points you towards this golden scaled dragonborn. He's sitting there. He's got a little hood up, but his nose is very much sticking out, and he's kind of nervous, like he's playing with his hands a bit, rubbing them. He looks like he hasn't been a teacher before this year, but you're not entirely sure. And then he calls the last people. Everybody, all the teachers slowly start leading their classes down, and seems like the barbarian teacher, she's being very strict about them, making them walk in like single file line, and she's walking backwards somehow in this perfect line. Like she hasn't tripped over anything. She knows exactly where everything is. And all of you are led to your classrooms. So some of you are led down to the fourth floor. No, third floor. Fifth floor. Yeah, I know. Just so fifth floor is Abby has to go all the way down there, and so is Shane. You guys are being led all the way down to the fifth floor. So you were on the 8th, and then let's see, Drew is only led down to the 6th, and James is to the 7th.
Less walking.
What?
More. I don't know. Nothing.
If my group and Abby's group kind of mingle, I noticed that she's kind of shy, and I take it her brother's probably not with her right now.
Nope, her brother.
I slide in next to her if possible and kind of take on that brotherly role, walking her down. She gets to where she needs to be.
James is the one that has the brother.
Oh,
I
James,
don't
sorry.
got
There's one.
no brother.
So James is the last one to go of this group.
Yeah, whichever one I'm with, I'm okay.
All
that
right.
one, yeah.
So you're all led to your class, and as you get to, we'll go ahead and do the bard class since I have it first.
Yes, because you're late. Yeah.
Abby's the bard.
I have to open my notebooks to the right teacher.
You want me to get the book through?
No, you don't need it. There won't be combat yet.
No.
That's what you think. You're gonna end up punching someone.
Oh dear. You walk into the classroom and the teacher's about the same height as you.
Oh wait, is this for me?
Yeah, this is for you.
Oh, okay.
See, you're a dwarf. Well, you're the height of a dwarf.
Yeah.
The teacher's even shorter than you by like a couple inches, but he's very skinny. This little halfling bard, he's sitting on his desk, sitting crisscross, but he's got a banjo sitting in his lap, and well, howdy. All right, everybody, go ahead and take your seats. We're gonna go ahead and start today. I'm very excited, as you can tell. You're all gonna get to introduce yourselves and say something about yourself that you think is very fascinating, so that everybody gets to learn something about you. I know, some of you might, because you're bards like me, want to talk about yourself for an hour, and we don't have that time, unfortunately. Maybe another day we'll get to do that.
My character, while he's walking, just feels a mysterious surge of hatred for some reason. And it just goes away.
I am really Joy 13. Look at my Joker hand.
So, everybody takes their seats, and there aren't very many of you. Let me actually find the number. I have a number of how many.
These are the bards still.
Yeah, this is all the bards. There's only a few of you. You're all sitting in this room, waiting, and he just kind of looks up and, Alright, now, we're going to start the introductions. Everybody go ahead and say your name one at a time, and then say something weird about you or something quirky about you.
I know, but I have an important question. Is it just the first?
No.
Is it just first years?
This is actually a good question. It is all 4 years are in the classrooms with you guys.
That is a good question.
And then when he asks them to explain, is he just asking the first years?
He's asking everybody so that all the first years get incorporated too.
Smart.
So he goes ahead and he points at somebody, this boy with very light hair, silver hair, and he's in the same year as you, and you guys are kind of in almost a row where it's like the first years are here and then these are the other years because he hasn't talked to you before. So he's, yes, I am India. I am from art, as you can see. I have a twin brother, and his name is Sirius, and we love him so much. I love him so much.
Wait,
Short question, why do you have peanut butter in your room?
peanut butter is good. It makes sense.
The jar is the size of my face.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Okay.
And show them the peanut butter.
And then he points at you, Shump. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say, my name is Shump, and I hate you all.
Well, that's very nice. Are you sure that's the fascinating thing about you? Not even like, oh, my parents are this or something.
There's nothing fascinating about me.
What?
There's nothing fascinating about me.
I mean, what?
I like this lady.
Is it rude to ask what race you are? You're very fascinating.
I'm half-orc, half-dwarf.
Well, there you go. That's fascinating. We don't see very many of those. And you just hear a little whisper beside or in front of you from that blonde kid. Well, more like a dork.
Oh!
Yeah,
I shot my friend, and later I'll get him back, most likely by punching him.
Don't worry, that sounds like a bard thing to say, though. You gotta get into your opponent's head as a bard.
And then he points at somebody else who's sitting near you guys that they also have pretty green skin, but this kid's tall. Like, he's big like you, but he's taller. So it's kind of even and everything. Alright, well, my name's Jack. Yeah, I'm a half-orc. If her being half-orc is fascinating, so it's fascinating to me. Leave me alone. And he kind of puts his head back down, like, leave me alone. Why am I here?
By the way, is there desks?
Yeah.
I have my feet on my desk, with my hammer sitting beside the desk.
And then he points at almost the last bard. It's another halfling. She's about the same height as the teacher, but she's also really skinny. She's got just very dark, almost black hair, and it's all curled up. Like, it's really done and over the top. Like, her parents were like very excited, and her mom had to do her hair. And my name's Pepper.
Oh no.
Something really fascinating about me. I don't know. I mean, my mom does like accounting stuff. Like, she counts the gold for this one company, but it's not like a big company. It's just the really huge steel mill, or not steel, that metal thing. What's the metal stuff that everybody uses for everything? Like iron, that stuff. It's an iron mill. Yeah, and she just kind of keeps talking. Well, that's very fascinating, honey. Let's go ahead and move on to our last classmate. And he points at the last one. Oh, all right, I know you. You're a fourth year. You've been here forever. All right, you want to go ahead and give your introduction? And he goes,
Introduction.
Well, I gave mine last year. My name's also Jack. Remember? So we're not related. And this one, he's just an elf. His ears are very pointy, and he doesn't look like he fits. Like, his hair is very short, and a lot of people are used to the elves with the really long hair. Almost all the other elves in the school have pretty long hair. This one's got almost a buzz cut.
I like this guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's cool, I guess. We have the same name. Can we start now?
I assume that none of the bards have anything interesting about them.
Okay, I will. Do
You're
any
like
of them? What instruments? Do they have any cool ones?
They
Like
all-
really
I
weird
have
out
a
there.
guitar.
Abby, is your instrument on your desk?
It's beside it. If it was on
Okay.
the desk, my desk would probably fall over.
Yep. All right, well, you can give your introductions. I know not all bards, I know it's a touchy subject, not all bards listen to music or play music or sing, but if you do, we're going to talk about that, and if you don't, then you can say if you like poetry or something weird like that. So he's pointing at you all, and almost all of them have an instrument,
Oh, the jerk.
and they all just kind of hold it up like, this is my instrument, please, just stop. So, both Jacks happen to have a trumpet,
This is my
and
whistle.
the younger of the two just Emil just kind of looks at them like, what is wrong with you? Pulls out his very elegant wood-carved violin and puts it up like he's about to play, and oh, no, we don't do that here. You have a violin? All right, I mean, that works, but the strings are gonna break during combat. That's just really not the best idea, dude. I know you like it and everything, but that's not it. And then he goes, oh my goodness, what is your instrument? And he points at you, Shump.
It's a guitar. And a hammer.
Really? That's a very fascinating guitar. Do you want to lift it up and show everybody? I mean...
I just pick it up and kind of wave it around a little bit.
You're kind of...
Do you have a name for it?
For you, it's
No,
pretty light,
actually.
because you're used to it, but you lift up your Warhammer guitar and set it on your shoulder just so that they can see it. And the two edges of it it looks like they're gold. They aren't, because your dad doesn't have the money for that, but he made this. He put this together on his own for you. And then also the middle looks like it's stone, but it's kind of like very thin metal, but it's still solid. And it's got the hole in the middle. It's got very thin strings, but they're very tight. They're very well tuned. So you're very ready for it, but everybody's looking at it like, this is heavy. They don't think they can lift it. Except the half-orc, he goes, let me see. I want to lift it.
No, it's mine. You can't touch it.
Understandable.
It's heavy
And then
metal.
the
Comedy.
fifth student just kind of, let me figure out what race he was again.
Japanese.
Somewhere in here.
Japanese or Chinese?
And then the last one just kind of is in here. I don't know. There's another student holds up just a plain flute, like it's a wooden reed flute.
It's a baseball bat.
Or a wooden flute that's just got holes dug in it.
That's okay.
So then he just starts kind of giving you an outline of the class, what it's going to be like for most of the year. That's about it for yours. So we're going to go ahead and... Huh?
I said, oh joy.
Yeah, you guys get to listen to him talk all day.
Loves this. This is great.
I couldn't hear what you said, James.
He wishes Android was 13. Alright, and then we move into the rogue class.
Hey.
And as soon as you guys walked into the classroom, it's very dark in there. Like, it's almost pitch black.
That's yours.
You can kind of see...
Also,
like that.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one out of all of us who doesn't have night vision or dark vision, so
Might be.
that's gonna be fun.
So you guys kind of all find your desks. Somebody notices that you're having trouble because you can't see very well, and you can just hear the teacher. She just kind of disappeared as soon as you guys walked in the room. and you all sit down and you look around. You're just trying to figure out what's in the classroom. And somebody looks up and, oh my goodness, and almost falls out of their desk, and you just hear purring very loudly, and then she jumps down from this perch that's 10 feet in the air, lands, and then sits on her desk with one leg up, and just is kind of smiling, but it's so dark you can't tell. And then she just, and the room lightens so you guys can see perfectly fine, and she's just smiling because that's all she wanted, was to scare someone.
I like this. It's smug for a mock meets.
So now, all the students are kind of having their discussion. Are you talking to anybody, or are you just kind of sitting there like, what in the world?
I'm talking to people. I'm trying to figure out what I'll be in for in the next years.
Alrighty. One of the older students tells you, well, she very much likes to mess around with us. She does this every year. She made a vow to us, or told us, made us make a vow that we would never tell anyone about it until it happened. So, there you go. You got scared.
I wasn't scared. Like, very, very clearly lying. Just
Scared. And she just, alright, now everybody, we're going to go ahead and start. And, we're going to go ahead and do our little schedule for the class. Basically, my name is Katrina. I'm going to be your teacher. You're all rogues. Yes, there are different kind of rogues. Some of you do magic. Some of you are real rogues. Yes, I have a preference. And she's staring directly at the student you were just talking to, smiling.
shots fired.
Now,
Oh,
I want you to say something interesting about yourselves.
Oh, you can't murder.
And she says this, and then you just kind of see the horror over a few of their faces. Oh,
Got
I
him.
love
Dang
doing
it.
that to you guys. You guys don't
Dang it,
actually
got
have to. I don't actually care. So she just starts kind of laughing, and then she starts talking to you about the year, how you guys are going to be learning how to improve your stealthiness, and she turns off the lights partway through and has you all try and hide, and she's going to try and find you. So go ahead. And do you have your dice out or no?
I can go get them. Here.
It sounds like
Yes.
I can't hear you now.
Good, but now we can
We
talk
can
bad
talk bad
about it.
about it. Oh, my ideas have stolen.
Man, look at that thing you're sitting on. That's such a bad shade of green. What a loser.
I'm back. I hope you weren't talking crap about me.
not you. Just your roll.
You would never do that.
Okay, which do I roll?
You are just going to roll a d20 and roll for stealth. I was just looking for the stealth.
Got it. Let's see, that is a 9.
With
Nine.
matters without.
Let's see, 1 second. My modifier is
That's a roll 9, but I know what your
7. So it's 16 total.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's sitting at the front of the classroom, and there's fourth year rogue. Yes. And there's the one fourth-year rogue is sitting at the front with her, and it's just there's just this little goblin. But she's got her cloak up, it's black, she's ready for this, she knew it was gonna happen. And as soon as you guys all start hiding, they start looking for you. So the teacher immediately goes to one side, and then Bella, the goblin, goes to the other. Immediately, 5 different students are found, and then it takes her about 30 seconds, and everybody else is found except for one student who is just kind of sitting on the teacher's perch. And when you guys sit back in your desks, you can kind of see they're up there, and they're just like waiting for someone to say something. And it's one of your classmates. He's just kind of sitting up there curled up, like waiting for her to notice, and he looks terrified. And then she turns the lights back on and goes, all right, now, since you think you're so much better, get down here, and looks directly at him. And he just kind of sorry. Comes down, sits in his chair, and he's just kind of curled in his chair like, I'm scared. And then she starts talking to you about it. Yeah, this is what we're doing. And yeah. So that's all for yours. Meow. So I get to.
Wait, is this a D10 or?
Now we're going to go to the Paladins and Clerics.
It is.
It's fun.
I am last again.
Yes, you are, because Sorcerer is one of the last ones alphabetically.
Victory.
Alright, so with your teacher John he leads you guys in there. He's got hair that's like right at his eyes.
He's got hair.
This blonde hair, it's just like right here, and it's just kind of hanging. It likes to fall right in front of his face, and then he just kind of pushes it back through the middle, and it falls back in his face. He has like golden eyes, but he's very short. Like he's probably like 3 feet tall, around there. You can't really tell because you're like 7 feet tall, so you're kind of like, or he's kind of at your knee.
Is that my knee? Yep.
All your other classmates are walking in front of you. It's
It's like the perfect hunting angle.
How far do you think you can kick him?
I can throw him.
Well, all right, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start. I will tell you a little bit about myself. You can go ahead and take your seats in this classroom. It doesn't have any desks in the middle. Instead, it has these very short tables that could be used as chairs. They're like about that tall. So for you to sit on it, you're worried it's going to break.
I'm on the floor.
You're sitting like right in front of it, and they're all at the sides of the wall, so there are 4 different tables, and they're big enough for 2 students. So all the other students are sitting on them. They're looking at you kind of like, why isn't he sitting like us? And they look back at you, whatever. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start with a little description of myself. Go ahead and talk to you. I've been here for probably, I don't know, what day is it? I don't know, a couple of days, might have been a week, I don't know. They found me in a temple in the middle of the woods. And man, it was great. I was all alone, everyone left me alone. But I got to grow on my own.
And you got a cat.
He starts talking about how he starts just naming all of the deities that were in this temple. This temple had an altar for almost every single deity he could think of. And then he was like, oh, there's this one deity that's not there. So he started making a little altar for it. And he would just fill it. And then somebody found him and was like, no, you need to come back to civilization. Come on. There's technology. So he's now, as one of the teachers, he's explaining how he was asked, and then he goes, oh no, it's been like months. Has it? Wait, how long's a month? Do me a favor.
Dude, he's totally high.
Like, are you sure you're qualified to be a teacher? Yes. For
No.
only for this. I know so much about so many of them. I'm good. It was actually, let's see. No, tell me, how long was it? Oh no, it's 30 days. A month is 30 days, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
90 days.
Yeah.
I've been here for 90 days.
Gotcha.
And they asked me to come because they were concerned for my well-being and all that. But that's fine. Don't worry about that. So, we get to work with that one, and I get to help with some of the healing. So I do the healing for all of this, and alright, you guys can go ahead and
No.
start talking about what your deity is, and you can explain to them what there's deity of, and yeah, who do you worship, and what do they do? And he starts slowly pointing to different students, and there are they're paladins and clerics. There are 7 or 8 total. So eventually it gets to you, and would you like to explain a little bit about your deity?
Oh, yeah. I don't really follow a particular religion, deity. I mean, I view them all as higher than us because you'd be stupid not to. But my powers, what we do, paladins and such, I take care of people. It's what I'm here for. It's what I've done. It's what my parents have done. We're here to help people, and that's what matters, right? Doesn't really matter what deity we follow.
A few of the other students are nodding, like, please, yes, keep going, so that he won't. I'm just nodding with you. And then others give their descriptions of their deities, like, okay, just to get it over with, since they can't all give the same little speech. And then he starts talking about what the rest of the year is going to be like. It's mostly going to be him talking to you guys about how you're going to connect better with your deities, and then what your role is as a team player, and how you work with your teammates, but how to improve on your own class, stuff like that.
Because he worships Zamasu.
Well,
All right, and now it's your turn.
Oh, my son is right.
Oh dear. Now it is to find the actual. Don't make fun of the cat for eating. You are in the class with all of the other sorcerers and warlocks, and there really aren't very many of you here. So they're to find the page.
I get to actually see where I am?
I
I think mine was just as good.
It was. Yeah, there are only 4 of you.
Oh.
Maybe 5. I think there are only 4. Yeah, there are 4 desks, and he's sitting kind of in his desk. His knees are bouncing, and he's pretty tall. He's not nearly as tall as Dorrin. He's like 6'7", but he's very skinny. He has just this cloak draped over him that's like purple with fake gold accents on it to match his scales. He's looking at you with your class is a 4, and all right, well, I'm here today because they needed a teacher because you were rare for those of you who were sorcerers. Are any of you actually warlocks? He's just looking at everyone slowly. No, you're a sorcerer. You're probably a sorcerer. What year are you all from? My goodness, I don't know any of you. I should know you. Did I have any of you last year? I was here. I did, probably. And he looks at you and, alright, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do introductions because, yeah, go for it. And you're sitting in the back, and because you look as nervous as I do. Points directly at you. What are you gonna say for your introduction?
My name is Elizabeth.
Alright, what kind of sorcerer are you? Do you...
Guess you'd call it wild magic?
Oh, you're like me. Okay, this is gonna be good. Yes, let's go to our next one. He points at another kid that's very short, just another halfling, and he heard what kind of magic are you? Does it matter where we get our magic from? My name's Oscar. Doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get all excited because the dragon stuff that I don't care about. Somebody in my family was blessed by a dragon or something. I don't really know because I didn't listen when my parents told me about it. Because it doesn't matter that much about magic. Oh yeah, I can do this stuff on my own. Alright, well let's go to the next sorcerer. Correction, there are only 4 desks, but there are only 3 of you.
Oh.
Because I thought there was a warlock, but apparently there's not. And it's this last one that she's a 4th year. She's also a dragonborn. I got mine through the draconic bloodline. It's alright. My name's Kenna. That's about it. Yeah, that's all you really need to know about me. I'm not going to give you a spiel. No. Well, alright, yes, my name is Mr. Hanshu. I'm not telling you my first name because you don't need to know it. Yeah. I'm also the guidance counselor. So if any of you are going through something hard, you just need to talk, or if you hurt one of your classmates because you're angry at them, then you get to talk to me for a while.
Bond?
At least an hour.
I'll be thinking a lot.
Hour.
Wait,
It's gonna be
what if
great.
they do it on on accident?
Like during combat?
Like if someone accidentally rolls bad and
Oh, that's on purpose.
So I accidentally wild magic and
that's what I was referring
Like,
to.
things explode.
You all get to just do your best, okay? That's all I ask, is that you do your absolute best. And now, I came as the same year as the barbarian teacher, so we know each other pretty well. I don't know what else to talk about. Yeah, we were friends. We didn't fight together. She's very impressive. She's the general for the military. That's a fun thing. She's pretty young too. So am I. For teachers at least. Yes, let's go ahead and talk about what the class is gonna be like. You know what? Surprise. You all get to fight me. I'm kidding. I don't have the courage to do that. Or do I? I don't.
Or
Too late.
And I'm going to do one at a time. You get to go stand on this platform, and you can just cast some random spell. It doesn't have to be an actual spell. You just stand on that mat and just cast it at any direction. It can be at the wall. It can be towards us. It won't hurt us. It's fine. Go ahead and do it. It can be a damage spell. It doesn't matter. So what spell are you gonna cast?
What's the most insane thing wild magic can do?
that's
Level
the
1?
table, which is not something I'll have a say in.
I mean, unless you want an advantage on this roll. Alright, you are on this mat.
Okay.
It's just a big square mat.
No, obviously you don't want to hurt someone, so I'm just going to use shield.
You're just gonna use shield? Alright. So you're standing in the middle and you just cast shield. And I don't actually remember what that one does.
God's reaction gives you +5 AC.
Alright. So, I don't remember if it gives a description of it, but you have that.
Why is my cards?
Why do you need them?
Yeah,
This is the
go
only
ahead
spell
and
you
explain.
have.
Yeah, just explain what it looks like.
He's already going downstairs.
Of course it is.
But, okay. Find it.
I did have a question.
Yes.
When I was talking with my teacher, did it actually seem like he wanted to be there?
Not really. No.
Okay.
He wanted, probably, to know what he's thinking, roll insight. He doesn't want to be there, but...
Yay! I'm a little terribly... Oh, actually, that's not that bad. 16.
Yeah, you can tell he just wants to go to nap. To go take a nap. That's all he wants right now.
Cool.
An invisible barrier of magical force appears and protects you. Takes every next turn +5 bonus.
You don't know if it was invisible or not.
Wait, it's invisible?
Yeah,
Yep.
so no one
So you
sees
just
anything.
stand there like...
Alright, I heard you cast something. Did you? Did it not work? What'd you cast?
Shield, sir.
You can cast something that causes damage. It's not going to hurt anyone. If you're worried about that, cast it as a wall. There's plenty of room. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Are you going to cast something else?
Sure.
What are you going to cast?
Chromatic orb from acid.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Chromatic orb. I can choose what type of damage it does. Wait, you need the description of it?
Yeah, I do, because I don't have all the spells memorized, boyo.
Spins a diamond, fires a beam, an orb of energy. It does 1d8 damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but description.
I mean...
It just
it's
shoots a colored
ball.
ball.
Hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature you can see within range. You choose the
Wait,
type.
it has to be at a creature?
No.
Well,
Well,
the creature.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
Yeah. Oh, I'm rolling.
Yep.
Or wall.
Am I rolling to hit? Or... Oh,
And then you can roll damage after that.
I want to try this.
You're just trying to hit a wall. I'm
No. The other one. No, I failed at the wall. I hope that's on D20.
Haleigh, base DC is 10 for things like that.
Okay.
Well, it's more than 10.
That's definitely more than 10. You have a plus something to it, but it doesn't matter. You rolled a 19 plus several.
Plus 4.
Plus 4. That's
Nice.
great. So you cast it, are you doing it directly at the wall?
Yeah.
You're doing it as, which one? There's one that has like a plant right in front of it, and then there's just a straight up wall. Or there's bookshelves.
Just straight up wall.
Okay. So you're casting it like almost directly away from everybody else.
Yes.
And you're expecting it to just hit the wall and kind of splatter a little bit.
Yeah.
And you do that, and instead of going across the wall, it doesn't even make it to the wall. It hits this invisible barrier and just hits that as if it was the wall. And you just slowly see the acid kind of pour down and then dissipate. And, well, that was brilliant. Good job. I'm very proud of you. That was a really good spell. And I don't know if anybody else knows that spell. Anybody else want to cast one? They all get up and they slowly just cast theirs. The halfling cast, I think, a cantrip, something like that. They're all casting something really weak. And then the 4th level, or the class 4 one, gets up there and looks directly at the students. All the others have cast it at the barrier, like at one of the 3 walls that's away from the students. This one looks directly at the corner towards the other students and fireball. Directly towards them. Immediately, what are you going to do in reaction to this?
He has shield. Let's we'll point that out. He still has shield.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's an AoE attack.
Alright, I guess I'm going to use shield on reaction.
I think it's, is it still up?
Yeah, shield. No, it's only that round. You can't use shield. It's not a reaction because it has to target you, and fireball does not target you.
Fools in the corner.
There are the teachers in his desk here, and then there are 3 students, and you're here.
What's the angle he's throwing from?
He's from here, doing it directly at you guys.
I mean, I'm probably in shock.
Are you going to move or anything or no?
He's throwing a fireball. I'm probably in shock. He's throwing it at me.
Immediately, the other 2 students get up and start running to this corner, towards behind the teacher, and you're just kind of sitting there like, no. And
this is it.
You cast it, it just hits the barrier and completely pops out of existence. Like, there's smoke inside a little bit, but it almost immediately goes away. And he just starts laughing. The teacher's chuckling a little bit. The student ends up on his knees just laughing so hard because he thought it was so amusing that you guys thought it was going to hit you. He walks out and, oh, that was good. Oh, I love doing that to first years. Oh, that was beautiful.
Act like you knew that was going to happen.
Oh, this has been here for a while. So,
but I didn't run.
He then starts talking to you guys about, after today, what you guys are all going to do. You're going to be trying to practice stuff like that. You're going to be practicing your own skills, increasing them, stuff like that. Your own innate ability, learning about your power a little bit more. And then all of your teachers at the same time start talking about, or about the same time, like once they're done their whole spiel about what the year's going to be, they all start talking about, all right, after this you're going to have lunch, so there's always going to be students there. There's always going to be at least 4 different choices. 3 of them are like going to be the same almost every time, and then there's going to be one that's kind of special because the cook likes to have her own thing. That kind of stuff.
Oh boy, school lunches.
Oh no.
Well, yeah. School lunches here are bad. It's fine.
So they're edible?
Yes.
Wow, that's strange.
But, all right, then you're going to have history. It'll be for your class, it'll be the same place. You guys will be having homeroom.
There are 4 people.
All of you. Your year. Your year will have history all together.
I have a +2.
So you're all going to be in the cafeteria for history as well. And then you're all going to have training on the floor above that, which they're all telling you about this so that you guys know. So once it's time for lunch, you're all dismissed, and some of the souls are just flooded and you all hear this big thudding sound. Somebody is running from the bottom floor up from somewhere. You don't know what room or what floor he's headed to, but you hear very loud thuds coming from, let's see, the 4th floor. So, Abby, you're the first one to hear it as you walk out of your classroom. What are you going to do? They're coming up the stairs, so you're going to wait till they walk past, or are you going to go ahead and go in the stairwell anyway?
I'm going to go anyway.
Okay. So as you are running up the stairs, there's just this loud thudding. It's just getting bigger and bigger. And then, where is he? My goodness. I know what student I'm looking for, but I don't remember what level, what level he is. He is... Okay, he is a 2nd year. So, he's running up, and this Goliath just pounds past you, and he gets up to your floor and kind of pushes you against the wall and keeps running. Are you going to do anything in reaction to that?
Well, there's always the temptation to hit him with my hammer. Like, right in the shins if he's that big. I'll swing my hammer at him because he pushed me.
Alright, go ahead. Go ahead and roll 2 attack then.
What am I...
You can roll a d20.
Okay, hang on. I got it. Hang on. Get my dice out. And find... Here it is. I have nothing to roll this on.
Give something flat?
Yes. I got an 11.
What plus?
Plus... What am I adding to it? I forgot.
It should be, like, right by where your weapon is on your character sheet.
Oh, the plus 6?
Yeah, okay. So, 17.
Yeah.
And you swing, and he just kind of grabs it and moves it as he keeps running. And he just kind of pushed it past him. And just keeps going. It's lunchtime. And he's barreling up the stairs. You hear a few other students, like, there are a few halflings that are in the stairwell. And then are in the corners, and you keep walking up. And they're just kind of cowering in the corner, like, what just happened? It's like, when somebody looks like they have almost got hit back, they're just kind of standing there like that. So, slowly he gets to the 3rd floor, and you guys, a few others, or the next floor of students, all hear you. And let's see, the next floor after that one.
I thought you said after floor 5 was floor 6 with the robes.
Yes. So, Shane, your class hadn't actually gotten out yet, but you could hear the scream. You're just kind of, everybody in your class is kind of struggling a little bit. Like, most of them are like, somebody's fine, somebody's just excited, stuff like that. Yeah, Drew, your class just got out. What are you guys gonna do?
Can I look down the, is there a space where I can look down and see what's coming?
Yeah, there's kind of like a very thin, kind of like the baseball cages, stuff like that. It's just the wire fences.
I'm going to walk up to my teacher and ask her if she has any ball bearings that I could borrow.
She just kind of nods and gives you a handful of them, just these little iron balls.
I just take them and toss them on the in front of on the stairway, just the flat part, and then I just step back.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this stairwell is not wide. It's like 5 feet at the most, and he's huge.
Sorry to feel bad, but I've already
to run up these stairs. It's a nat 20 and a 7.
Ah.
And I didn't roll stats for him yet, but I already knew it was going to be a minus. So he immediately just flips and face plants right on the stairs, and then stands up.
Ow.
Lunchtime.
After that, I'm gonna try and get as many of them to get back to her.
Like them. You're laughing at you. Good job. She's very amused by this. She helps you pick them up, and then she puts them back in the little pouch. And then at the 7th floor, are you gonna go ahead and stairwell, or are you just gonna ignore it? You looked down, and you could barely see what happened, but you could see him fall.
If he's running up again, I'm leading.
You're gonna wait. Okay.
A man's on a mission. Don't get in the way.
One time.
He's now like slowly trailing behind, like waiting to make sure he's the only one doing it. And then the thudding kind of stops, but then you hear thud.
No.
And he's above all of you. You're all going up the stairs, and you get up there slowly, one by one. You see he's the first in line. He's holding the tray, like very, very excited. And the lunch ladies.
All right. It's not time for lunch yet. You still have 5 minutes. You're supposed to take a break in between classes. How did you get up here in 30 seconds? Sit down.
I'm ready for lunch.
And that's 30 seconds after being tripped.
Down. Sit. You're not allowed to be the first person today.
Don't just calm down. I'm not feeding you until you're at least bled. But it's lunchtime.
Jerry, you down.
If I feed you now, will you be quiet and leave everyone alone and go sit?
Yeah. And then he's holding this tray out, and she immediately just starts, all right, pick one, take a plate, put it on your tray, and walk away.
Okay, yeah.
He's taking a plate of everything, and as you guys get up to the line, it's a pretty big line because there are so many students. She's the only lunch person, the only lunch lady. And there are only like 4 different things up. You can see there's basically pizza, but it's very fancy. Like, it's homemade. It's not cardboard pizza at all. There's like a full-on Caesar salad, just huge plates of it.
The cheese won't come off when you try to eat the pizza.
You right. And then there are, I had other notes I actually had a plan for what the third thing's going to be. At the end, there's like lasagna, like, ready. She was excited for the first day. And then there's also just spaghetti, which is pretty simple, you know. She just was easily able to plate that. There are a few that don't have sauce at all, just because some students are like that. There are a few plates that are just
Okay.
No ketchup. It's just sauce.
Just ketchup.
Oh, sauce.
So that student took a plate of everything he could fit on his tray. He could fit like 4 plates, kind of, but he's holding it underneath. So everybody's slowly getting through. Is there, like, are you guys going to try and sit near other people, like people who look like they're sitting alone, or?
No,
are you gonna try
I'm going to sit by myself.
Alright. Okay, you guys are both going to try and sit on your own. Drew, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna try and see the first year students, try and get the strongest ones to. I want to see who's the strongest, so I'm gonna try and get them to start arm wrestling.
Okay. I'm very glad that you chose to word it like that. There's this group of 4 guys that are all sitting together, and they look like they all have known each other for a long time. They're all in your class. Seems like you've seen them. They were there with you for homeroom. You can tell they're pretty rowdy. And one of them's standing up on the table saying, "Come on, Jared, chug it!" And they all have like 5 milk cartons like lined up waiting, and they're open, and he has one in each hand, and he's just chugging it, and everybody at their table is screaming chug. There are only 4 of them, and you're just gonna come sit down by them and have them arm wrestle?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get. I want to see which of my classmates is the strongest. So yeah.
So there's Jared's. I don't remember which one I said was chugging, but one of them's chugging milk. One's standing on the table, just pounding his arms in the air, and then there are 2 that are just kind of sitting there laughing and clapping or like banging their hands on the table. And you sit down. What are you gonna say before you? Are you gonna sit down and just kind of wait for them to calm down a little bit, or are you gonna immediately just?
I'll wait for them to calm down.
They slowly start to, and I don't know if that was a good idea.
I'm gonna back up.
You're supposed to, you're supposed to chug milk.
I
Good idea.
I walk up behind him and cast Lay of Hands, removing the bad feeling.
Right.
Just
No.
just real quick walk past and like slap him on the back of the head to cast it, and then I go and sit next to Elizabeth.
Hey, dude, you're cool. You're cool, man.
And yeah, just salute and then go get my food and sit next to Elizabeth.
Okay. Who are you, kid? He's pointing at you, Drew.
I go, hey, I'm Owen. I want to start a little thing among our class. See that the half-orc over there? She bet that she was stronger than you guys. You should go prove that by, I don't know, maybe an arm wrestling contest or something.
Immediately, one of them, the one that had been chugging milk, stands up and slams his hand on the table. He goes, "Nobody's stronger than me."
I'm
really?
just a messenger.
Come on! And he flexes. His muscles are the size of probably anyone else's head.
Mm.
And he's ready. He's excited. So like all four of them. Abby, you see four pretty big guys walking over to you. One of them's just kind of tall. He's a little skinny, but everybody's skinny compared to these guys.
I'm just awkwardly following.
And then you see Owen hiding kind of behind them a little bit. They're all walking over to you, and so I heard you got beef with me.
Why are they so loud?
Come on, I heard you got beef with me. You want to bet?
Not really.
What are you gonna do?
Don't want to bet. Go away.
Well, too bad. He slams his arm on the table, and you hear a little tiny crack, like the wood of the table didn't like that. Come on, do it.
I reluctantly put my hand on the table, like, to do it. Like arm wrestle, yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead.
Roll for precision.
Alright, ready? 3, 2, 1, and he starts pushing. I'm gonna go ahead and have you roll a strength check.
Okay.
So you're just gonna roll a d20 and then add your strength modifier, but not the one in the little box. As in the saving throw box that has all the others.
Wait, what? What am I adding?
The one that's on the left, you're just gonna add the strength modifier. Yeah, it'll be the far left of your page.
The +4?
I think so.
I got 11. Like, I got a 7, and then with the modifier, it's 11.
Okay. Alright. He got a 15. So you guys struggle a little bit, and then he slowly just pushes your arm down, and you get about halfway, and then he pushes it, and he wins it, and he, "See, I'm the strongest. I told you nobody's stronger than me," and he points directly at you, Owen.
Well, here, during this, I'm going to try and get a Dorrin into this.
Dorrin, where are you
Like,
sitting?
hey, guys,
I'm next to Elizabeth.
Okay, you two are
hey,
sitting at table one.
You're being kind of mean to that orc. You want to show him who's boss? Like, just show him up?
I don't deal with bullying well. I'm gonna put my hands on the table. I'm not going to get any physical feats of strength. I stand up and walk over. And I don't, I'm not trying to seem intimidating at first.
Okay. And they're all looking at Owen like they saw him go over to you afterwards and like see you guys standing up and what's he doing? I don't know. He's the one that got us into this. He's the one that said that she was stronger than me.
I found out they found me out.
I lean over and quietly say to Owen, "Stay at least 2 of me away." And I walk up to the 4 guys.
Are you gonna do that, Drew?
Yeah.
I'm
Are you
I'll
backing
say,
up?
I'll say just I'll stay back.
Okay.
And then as I get up there, I go, "Excuse me, ma'am," looking at Shump. "Could you back up just a few steps for me?"
No. I'm staying here, and I'm eating.
All right. And then my claws come out, and I just let out this deafening roar, and I'm using my daunting roar ability,
All right.
which each creature within 10 feet of me needs to make a wisdom save or be frightened.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh no, my wisdom. My
Alright, so Abby,
wisdom so low.
I need. I'm just gonna roll through these. So, the red is the first page.
I just want to ask, what's Elizabeth's response to this?
What's right now happening? He's roaring.
Yeah.
So roll a d20.
Want them to stop, and then you just suddenly
A 15, and a nat 1.
But what about
All right.
That is with monsters.
Do I roll a
They all hit
d20?
wisdom?
One of them has +3.
Yeah, D20, and add your wisdom saving throw.
Alright. It is -1. I got a 19. So that's 18.
The DC was 12.
Oh.
Okay, so the two of them made it. So they're cleric and they're fighter. So the big guy that did arm wrestle Shump did not make it, and neither did their like skinniest of the three.
I only wanted to get the big guy, so that was
Okay. Because, okay, man. Okay, I get it.
back down.
And they all just slowly start backing up and go back to their table.
I'm just looking at Dorrin, just chewing.
And then
Slowly.
I just nod to you, and then walk back to the table.
James, I don't know if you're audible when you speak in that voice.
Oh, let's try it again. Why did you do this?
She's looking at you, Drew.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just clearly lying. Just.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. Are you guys all going to go sit back at the table where we're at?
As I sit back down, I go, I'm very sorry. That was very unbecoming of me.
You're not the one who caused it all.
No.
Go there.
Yeah, I didn't look at Owen after I walked back.
That's fair.
They're slowly piling into the tables, and it almost feels like the room's a little small for so many people there. Like, there are 48 students. Oh no, there's the perfect amount. So there's like 4 people at every table. So there are some groups that they already know each other, and they're kind of like sitting together purposefully. They'll make people move. They'll be like, hey, we're going to be together. We're going to be in a group together. So there are a few groups that one of the groups goes to the table that you, Shump, are at, and it's the other group of first years with you guys. There are 4 of them, and they all are dressed very fancily, and they're all like ready. They look like, all right, we're gonna be in a group. We are together. You're not leaving each other. And they'll be, all right, darling. Now I need you to do me a favor and move your behind.
No thanks.
It's the same. It's that bard that was in your class, that the silver hair elf.
Byron.
No, that was a different person.
Oh, excuse me.
No, this one's a guy.
No thanks.
See, my brother Silas and I and our 2 friends are going to sit here. So we need you to move over to that table. And he points over to the table that Elizabeth and Dorrin are at.
No
Please.
thanks.
Fine. The 2 brothers, they're twins, and they sit on the same side of the table. They look almost the exact same, but like they have different clothing, so you can kind of tell. They sit on the same side of you, and they're both pretty skinny, so there are 5 of you at this table now. The other 2 are on the other side, and slowly the twins start scooting apart, and one of them slowly pushing you closer to the edge of the desk, or the table, or the table and the seat. What are you going to do?
Can I try not to move?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Be a strength, right, Shane? Strength. Yeah. Go and roll a strength.
Athletics, probably.
I'm going to roll that because it fell on the floor. Hang on. I really need something to roll these in. I got an 8 plus 4.
Okay. They're rolling with advantage because there are 2 of them that are pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So. That's funny. Okay. So, one of them got a 3, the other got a 17. So, the one that's closer to you is the bard, and he's a little stronger than his brother, so he's pushing and pushing hard. What number did you get?
I got what did I get? I got 12.
Okay, he got an 18.
Oh boy.
So he just kind of shoves, and you just kind of fall to the ground, and you're sitting on the floor right beside the edge of the bench.
Can we do? Okay. So, what type of food did you say there was again?
So pizza, spaghetti, lasagna, salad.
Well, I already know where this is going.
Yeah, that's exactly where it's going. So, I mean, I'm next to Elizabeth and Dorrin's table. I look at them and say, if you're wearing anything that's you don't want to get dirty, you may wish to leave the cafeteria, please.
I immediately say, don't you dare.
Do I know where I'm going next?
I look over at the...
Alright,
Do I have my gear on me? Like my shield?
In the cafeteria?
History will be in the cafeteria, yes.
Oh.
Do I
wait
have
a
my
minute.
shield?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it ready to go in front of Elizabeth if I need to.
I'm certainly going behind it.
So, I take a handful of spaghetti and chuck it at the noble brat.
Both my hands are in the
Right?
Drew, do you want to be stealthy about this, or do you care if it's known?
No, it's obvious.
Okay,
I
so
hate
go
these
ahead and just roll for, I guess, the attack.
That's a d20?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
add your dexterity to it.
That is a 10, and with dexterity... Wait, which one?
Just the one on the far left. The regular
Far left?
stat.
Just the 16, or...
I don't know.
Add the little number below it.
Okay, so that's a 13.
Alrighty. And actually, we're just going to say the DC is 10 because you're throwing it at a table of 4 people.
I'm not throwing it at Shump, obviously, but...
Okay. Well, she's sitting in the back corner, like, on the ground. She's kind of blocked by them. And it just kind of slams one of them in the back of the head. And it's not the 2 that are on the side that she was on, but it splatters on either side of their head and goes on them. And it gets on everybody at the table except for Shump. And they all just kind of look around and...
I'm smirking.
They're huffing,
This is
angry.
hilarious.
They're all angry. The 2 twins are wiping it off of their faces, and they were both in white.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm standing there just like...
And you
just
see someone
proud.
walk out of the stairwell holding a mop, and why? It's day 1.
They were asking for it.
I'm going to grab Owen by the back of his collar and just lift him off the ground.
Okay. This is a guy, he's very obviously, he's holding a full-on mop, and he just walks over and, normally to be funny, I would wipe this all over your face and clean your faces off, but I'm not going to help you. And he hands them the mop, goes back into
Let go.
and comes out with another and says, whoever threw it can clean it up. And sets it and leans it against the stairwell, and then he goes back.
Oh, no, I walk him over.
Okay. The janitor immediately goes back downstairs. He's done. It's day 1. He's done. He's not happy.
Yeah. Do the noble people leave or something?
They start like wiping off their faces. A few of them get up and just kind of go to the bathroom to try and get the red sauce out of their white clothing. So 3 of the 4 of them are gone, and the paladin, he's in his armor. He's got actual armor. So you hit 2 guys and a girl.
Probably made a few enemies, but...
You hit the paladin back of the head. The girl just kind of got a little bit on her. But, she's...
I dislike snobby people, so,
So the paladin's just kind of sitting there like, Now I have to clean my armor. It's probably gonna rust. Great. He gets up and he goes upstairs a few floors because they've already gone to their rooms before and they know where it is.
Before he leaves, it's a guy?
Yeah.
I go, or you could just get some armor like mine.
Would you like to describe your armor to everybody else?
It doesn't get dirty.
Okay.
Well, that's
Shiny.
cool.
Be honest, I didn't hear that. It paused for a second.
My armor cannot get dirty.
What? Oh, that's cool.
So I take some of the spaghetti and kind of wipe it on my armor and then wipe my hand off as the paladin's trying to walk away.
He just kind of takes a little bit of his head and tosses it at your armor and just kind of sticks
Just
it there.
slides off.
Yeah.
I sigh, take the bucket and mop, and start cleaning it up.
Is my food
Tell
still
Shump
sitting
that-
on the table?
I say,
Huh?
Is my food still sitting on the table?
Yes, your food is still, like, on the table. There's a little, like, a few strands of spaghetti that are just kind of laying on the side of it, because
I'm going to sit back down and start eating again.
you're going to sit on the same table.
Yeah.
So the people that got hit with the spaghetti left?
Yep.
I'm going to pick
Three
up
of them
the
went
mop.
downstairs, one went up.
I'm going to pick up the
yeah,
mop
I'm
and start helping.
gonna start. Okay.
So you get all up. It's
I'll
just going to sit
just sit there.
around. Alright.
Once it is done, I will thank Dorrin for helping me.
Just
So,
stop getting in trouble.
no promises, but I will try.
I'm not always going to be here to bail you out.
That is a massive lie, but okay.
Alright, and then very loudly you all start hearing the principal's voice, and he's, time for history, everyone. So go ahead and take care of your trays, throw the food away, put the tray back on the lunch counter, and then everyone go to your history room. And he repeats the whole first years and second years are going to be in the cafeteria, and then where the others are going to be. So
cool.
Everybody kind of sorts again. It's the first and second years are separated in the classroom again.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, you
Would they know if I did this if they didn't see me pointing the finger?
would.
Okay.
So then you all sit down and the principal is standing there. Alright, now because this is some of you, your first year, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I won't always be history. Sometimes it will be Miss Marsk, the barbarian teacher, because she gets to do the wars and everything and explain all that because she has a lot of experience with that as she is our general and is very, very smart about all of that.
Can I get something under your desk?
It's fine.
It's fun.
She likes to hide. Did you just take the player's handbook out from under my leg?
Yeah.
He kind of just starts going through, saying a few of the things that you guys are going to learn about that are stuff about the history, different wars and stuff, and then alright, and now, because it is the first day and a lot of you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and start explaining the history of the tree and this school. And as you guys all showed up, you saw that, right? You all saw that this school was inside of a giant tree. Like, the grooves in the edges of the tree are the size of a person. You could just kind of stand in if you wanted. And he starts slowly talking about just the history of the tree and how he was there when this was summoned. This didn't used to be here at all. So, it was hundreds of years ago. The gods, just a large group of them, maybe. So 250 years ago, they had a ritual to summon this tree, and several deities helped in the summoning, and then there were a lot of wizards that were involved in this.
I'm a sorcerer. I don't know how you're looking at me.
Wizard. I know. There were a bunch of wizards that were involved in the summoning of this tree.
Oh, God.
Because they had to have multiple people at different points of it. And he starts explaining a little bit about the ritual and how they made the deal with these deities that the tree would be made so long as it was used for this school, for the better of the people, so that people could be trained to protect the others. Oh, no. No, I'll tell you when you're ready. So he's just explaining this, talking about how the school just is needed, and it's so important to everybody that it is upheld, and if it's not, then the gods will destroy the tree, and they will not be merciful about it. He then smiles and says, the thing is, people keep having the bright idea that they're going to destroy the tree on their own terms because for some reason people don't like it and don't like that people are being trained, or they're angry that they weren't accepted into the school, so they try to attack it, and, well, some cases, those people are struck by lightning that comes out of the top of the tree, just straight through the leaves, and a lot of those people don't survive. This is their punishment from the deities because they were warned about this. And everyone was warned before they decided to be near the tree. Everyone's family was warned in the entire town, and almost everyone in the continent. Now...
I look at Owen as he says the stuff about the tree.
Okay. He said, now, some people tried to burn the tree down, and those people ended up just getting completely drenched and rained on, and it flooded, and they were just kind of pushed back into the streets of the town. So every attempt at destroying the tree or even hurting it has not helped or done anything whatsoever. So don't get any ideas if you're kicked out or anything. And he's looking around at the students, not like looking at anyone particular. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Has anybody carved anything into the tree? You know how like weird sappy couples do?
They have, and deities don't like it, but it's not like they're going to kill someone for it, so usually they just kind of make the knife not dent into the tree. Like, the wood's very hard, it's stuff like that. So if it's the intent to damage it or leave a permanent mark on the tree that's not authorized by anyone, then it just doesn't work.
I raise my hand. I ask if it's like, okay, is the wood from the tree, is it normal wood?
No, that's a brilliant question. It's not. It's we don't really have a name for it. We just call this Magnarbor. That's what we call the entire school. It doesn't light on fire. People have tried many times. We've done little tests just inside with planks of it. A lot of the floors in here are made of this wood. So he just kind of taps his foot a little bit. That's what this floor is made of. So it's a lot easier to clean up because for some reason it just doesn't get dirty very much. The leaves of it change with the seasons, but they don't really fall off during fall. They just turn orange, and then during the winter, the leaves themselves turn white. But if the world is, or the continent is in a war, they turn black. So he just starts nodding and, oh yes, you're not going to have textbooks, because there are too many of you to have textbooks. And we don't have anyone to make them. For now. Maybe another year you will. He starts talking about how then, just because he's running out of things to talk about, he feels like he's talking too fast. He starts talking about how you guys are all so blessed to be here, and how it's a great privilege to teach you all, because so many of you are here because you're skilled, or because your family had the money to give you this greater education, even though it's not mandatory, but like, schooling is mandatory before it, so, and they're all excited and everything. He's all happy about it, and some of the students are, like, when he says that your parents have the money to get you in here, some of the students are looking all proud, like the four that you guys had a little run-in with at lunch look very proud of themselves, and they're very happy about it, about how their parents have so much money, and they could get in. But at the same time, the sorcerer in that group, who was in your class, is smiling less of a my parents have the money for it, and more of a I got in here because of skill. Like that's his mindset. Then the principal goes, oh yes, I know what I can talk about. Tomorrow, instead of history, you will all get to learn about beasts and such, learn a little bit about that class. So do you know what you'll be fighting throughout, your schooling? And I will tell you ahead of time in case any of you bookworms want to go sit in the library for 4 hours. There are books on what we're talking about tomorrow, which is goblins. Because that's the first thing you guys get to help us with. Because we've been having a little bit of a goblin problem that we're waiting to take care of for a little first experience for some of you students. So we're going to talk about this tomorrow.
Slay them.
So this is 3 houses.
Oh, I was referencing something else. Sorry, continue.
Shane gets the reference.
Yep, got you.
I get that. It's stupid.
So after he's been talking for a while, he just keeps droning on. He realizes, oh, what time is it? Oh dear. Okay. Yes, it is time. And he gives an announcement to all of the teachers very quietly, so a few of the students start talking to each other immediately, and saying, all right, it's time for you to dismiss your classes. They can go to training now. So he then tells you, all right, now you can all go upstairs. You're going to have training with your different groups. So because you're all first years, we're not going to put you with Miss Marsk because she would probably kill you because you're first years. So you're all going to be with Katrina and with Wilson, which is the wizard teacher. He's fun. He was there at the tree summoning. And he just kind of starts talking about the tree again, kind of like going through it again, kind of wistfully, like he remembers it very well and he's very happy and proud of himself for that day. Oh yes, anyway, go ahead, you can go upstairs, get ready for that, get ready for group training and all that. And then he goes through into the staircase and goes downstairs.
Can I mark this as a short rest?
Yes.
Yeah, I got my roar back.
Are you guys gonna all immediately go up to the training, or are you gonna kind of...
We're doing class training or...
it's gonna be training in your group of 4, but you guys haven't, like, banded together yet, so it's gonna be more of you guys meeting your classmates and bonding with them.
I stay next to Elizabeth.
Okay.
If she will allow me to. And keep my eyes on Owen.
Hey.
There's a human online
going up there.
Do we know who our group is at this point?
You guys get to officially be a group after, like, the first week, but, like, you can kind of tell they're cliques forming. Like, the 4 really beefy guys are all in one group. And
so we don't know that Shump is part of our group yet?
Correct.
Thank you.
You know, she's one of your classmates.
Yeah. We're going up to the training thing. Do they have, like, training weapons, like, made of wood and stuff?
There are, like, basically training dummies up there. They're, like, wooden swords, wooden daggers. Yeah. They have bows that have a rubber tip instead of the actual pointed. So it's kind of like a little ball at the end instead.
Is it a short or a long rest to get points back and spell points?
Probably.
Okay.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been such. But you guys go ahead up there, and you can already see the group of 4 pretty rich, pompous kids are all in their little circle, and most of the older years are already, they're standing in their groups because they already know who their group is. And then the 4 beefy guys in your class are standing together. And did you guys immediately go up? Did somebody wait behind? Or are you guys, like, in the middle, in the front?
I am following Elizabeth.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with Dorrin and Elizabeth, too.
There's people following.
I'm going to be one of the last people up there.
Okay, so Abby Prey is going to be all the way in the back. Are you going to be, like, in the back because you don't want to be near people?
There are 2 people following me. I'm now panic speeding up.
Okay. So you were at the back, and you're kind of, like, pushing forward, Like, you feel really awkward, but you don't want to, like, burst into the crowd of others, so you're just kind of, like, right behind somebody, but at the same time you don't want to be by them. So you keep slowing down and speeding up. So you guys all get up there, and you three are kind of standing in a group. Shump, are you going to go over to them, or are you just going to kind of stand there?
I'm just gonna stand there.
If I see Elizabeth trying to get away, I will go around her and go in front so that I'm not giving her anxiety. I don't want to give anyone anxiety here.
Do you ever react to this?
It's the cause of the anxiety.
7 foot tall lion. You walk past
just
you, like,
walk
right.
past and just go.
Alright, so Shump's standing all alone when she gets up there, but she's behind you guys. The three of you kind of walk in. Dorrin, you're the first one, and you can see those two groups are formed.
I snarl, like, grimace at the guys if they look at us. Just to get that point across again. And then I don't even pay attention to the rich kids.
Okay. Are you just going to stand with Owen and Elizabeth then?
I am going to just watch.
Okay. So
I don't really care what Owen and Elizabeth are doing right now.
It's just kind of the four of you, and the rest of the teachers, almost all of them are coming up. So all 4 years are now in this huge room. This room feels like it's bigger than the rest, but it's above them. So it's when the tree is starting to spread out. So the walls aren't even circles anymore. They're kind of there are corners that are very visible, that are rounded. And the teachers all come up and they're standing behind you guys. They're kind of sorted. So you've got the wizard teacher standing with you guys, even though none of you are wizards, and then you have the rogue teacher by your class as well. And you guys are kind of the closest to the door of your class, and they're like the wizard teachers go over there, like nudging you over. Yeah, Dorrin's an accent, but I can't do it right now. He's just kind of nudging you all, trying to get you four to go together. It's pretty visible. And then the principal, yet again, he's using thaumaturgy every time, so he's casting quietly, and his voice just booms across the whole room.
What race is the principal?
The principal?
Yeah.
He's an elf.
Okay, that explains it.
He just has very long hair, and it's mostly covering his ears, but you can see the points just gently out.
Yeah, it occurred in my head, but I didn't think they said hundreds.
Yep.
Are people, are we just waiting, or did have people start sparring or something?
No, they're all just kind of standing in their groups because they're waiting for the principal to start talking.
I'm not standing at my full height right now. I'm, like, crouched down.
Okay. He's, the principal's standing there. He starts talking to you all, and all right, now it's time for, training. You guys all get to work in your groups together, and it looks like, this year we're organized. This year we all are in our groups. It's brilliant. Your first years are doing great. Usually we don't already have that done. It usually takes us about an hour to figure out who's going to be with who, and then we only have an hour of training left. So what you guys get to do is you guys get to work with all of the training dummies, work with the teachers, and you all have assigned teachers for your year that will help you with this, and they're going to help you learn about how to work as a team, because it's very important as adventurers and as military anything. You all just need to know how to work together so that no one gets hurt too badly. He nods. Alright, you guys can go ahead and separate into your groups and start working with those training dummies and everything.
Quick question. Did you get a look over the two-weapon fighting?
I did not yet.
Okay.
I can eventually. I totally forgot.
The official?
Yeah.
Bonus action to attack. Don't use your proficiency to add to stuff.
Sweet.
There you go.
I got you.
So I'm going to go over to wherever they're keeping the training weapons and, grab a fake sword, dagger, and bring Shump a hammer if they have it. If not, an axe.
Okay. They have a few hammers, but they're kind of, the end of it, instead of being wooden or anything. It's just a giant block of basically rubber. It's really weird. It's kind of like a rubber mallet, but like 20 times its size. It's like the base is that big. So everybody's slowly getting their their fake weapons, stuff like that, sorting them. They're all kind of sorted in piles of what they are, just because we just kind of toss them in a pile at the end of every
I have
day.
my shield. Unless they have training shields, I get a shield, but I won't initially grab a weapon unless it's handed to me.
Okay.
When I come back, I look at Elizabeth and Dorrin and say, apologies, I don't know what you guys use.
I just kind of tap the shield.
He was bringing his
I do have a sword at my waist, but I haven't touched it.
By the way, I don't think what you said was audible at all.
Probably not. But, I mean...
You don't have to...
blink myself.
So Elizabeth just quietly mumbles to herself a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell what weapon she has. She does have something kind of at her waist. There's like... It looks like a little stick. It's like that long, but there's like silver at the bottom, and there's a bunch of crystals at the top. There's a few at the bottom. And that's your first step.
I do believe the girl doesn't use weapons. Me, I know how to use a sword.
So everybody else kind of just starts hitting this, like, every group picks their own, like, training dummy, and they're all going for that one, trying to plan. Some of the groups are working on, like, actual things, like group attacks, trying, like, kind of like Team Movie, that kind of idea, like, stuff like that. They're trying, that's, like, the older years, and then the big brawny group in your class is all kind of arguing, but no, I'm the one who gets to hit it. I get to hit it this time. And they're all trying to get in a hit immediately. The pompous ones are mostly doing spells, and they're all staying pretty far back from it, as if they think they're gonna break it, and like they're not casting very hard spells at it or anything. They don't want to break the things. But you can tell the like fourth years are using full spells, and it's not shattering the training dummy at all. It's not being damaged.
Owen, let's see what you've got.
Okay, so I take the dagger,
Hit me.
toss up for a sec. Hit you?
Yes. And I just sit there, shield forward.
You can go back away and start petting Kyle.
So Elizabeth just kind of backs up and is petting the air. I'm guessing it's on your shoulder. Just on her shoulder, as if there's something there. And like when she pushes her fingers down, it touches something, but it doesn't go further. But she just kind of keeps doing that.
It's the training weapon, so do I roll anything or?
It would still be your dexterity. It's still a dagger, so it's gonna be the same, but we're not gonna do like actual.
It's not gonna be actual damage. You'll
Right.
just know how. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Non-lethal damage.
Yeah. Take the sword, and then see, that is a 10 plus 5, so that's a 15 for the roll. 1d6.
It doesn't hit.
So do I use the dagger then?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. That one is a 13, so that misses too.
Yep. It just both hit the shield.
In the meantime, I'm going to go grab one of the training quarterstaffs.
Okay. Yeah.
I look impressed. I'm like visibly like impressed, like, oh.
You hit well.
I look over at Shump
I
and
shall
says,
be your shield.
You again on this?
Sure.
I turn and face her.
So,
I prefer if you use the...
like, whack. Am I hitting the shield?
Well, hit me.
Oh, okay.
Try.
Okay. Do I just roll a d20? What do I
Yep,
do?
and then you're gonna add the same modifier for your regular warhammer.
Okay. So an 18 plus 6.
Good job.
Bonk.
Yeah, that hits.
These, if they do any damage, it's like 1 damage, and that's it.
They could do non-lethal damage.
Right. But for now, for the sake of the room, that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Excellent job. I shall be your shield as well.
Alright, and then Elizabeth kind of walked away and comes back with just a regular wooden staff that it doesn't have crystals or anything on it. It's just basically like a wooden rod.
Hey, don't bite me. That was rude. Go to your tower.
Would you like a chance, Elizabeth?
What'd you say?
Would you like a chance, Elizabeth?
Isn't that what the dummies are for?
I like to test my companions personally.
Alright.
Are you gonna cast again?
No, I'm swinging with the quarterstaff. I'm casting Ray of Frost. That'd be new.
It's an 8.
No, so it's only 11.
Cool.
He just
You should probably stay in back.
I was planning on it.
Good.
So you guys kind of have like an hour and a half in character of just training together, working together, trying to figure out like where people are going to be, where you guys are going to be in relation to each other, realizing Elizabeth's staying definitely in back, Dorrin's going to be the shield, Shump's kind of fine with being up front. She didn't like doing her water. She will surely try. She likes to do that.
During this hour and a half process, I want to talk to Shump, basically asking how she feels about combat, because I know she's not in the barbarian group, even though she kind of is acting like one. So, a bard.
What do you want?
You're a bard.
Yes.
You don't hold yourself like one.
Never wanted to be one.
Then why are you?
Forced into it.
You should do what you like. Life only has meaning if we're doing what we love.
What? You trying to rickroll us?
That's it.
While they're doing that, me and Elizabeth are like back there sparring. Like she's like attacking, I'm dodging. She like gets a whack across the face.
Against you, Owen's just chasing you, trying to hit you.
So she just stops, just clotheslines me.
Unconscious immediately. So you guys do this for like an hour and a half.
I get chased for an hour and a half?
Someone rushes over, heals me.
There are a few
Run
different
over
people,
and slap him to heal him.
when he actually gets hurt, there's the cleric and paladin teacher, there's the nurse, and then there's also a druid teacher that's just this very short, very stocky older lady that she walks over and she's giving potions and stuff. Very, like lower tier potions just to heal people when they're actually hurt. Which is only really happening to your class. It's like every so often one of you needs a potion or something, and then pretty frequently is a group of 4 guys in your class and needs them because they're fighting each other and like slamming each other against the wall or the ground. Stuff like that. And they're being basically football players. Rowdy football players.
Yeah.
So that about an hour and a half into it, all the second years are leaving. And, like they're told they can. The teachers are telling them they can go ahead. And then the third and fourth years had left after like an hour. Some of them left early, just in their little groups. Some of them stayed longer just because they have the choice. And the 2 teachers that are with you guys are telling you, just so that your entire year knows, you guys have to stay for an hour and a half but you don't have to stay after this year and after, I believe, the first month, something like that. You won't have to stay the entire time because of your, after the first month. So after the first month, you guys won't have to stay there because it's your choice. If you guys want to work together and improve your team, then good, and you will. But if you don't, it's on you guys, and they're not going to force you to.
I'm just wondering if while we're sparring, just the general group taking turns, I was wondering if I could tell if they've seen combats or if it's all they seem like.
Or the other students?
The people in my group.
Would Dorrin have seen any combat at all? Right.
Not any formal combat. Definitely training.
Maybe separating a few fights.
Yes, it's most of what my fighting would be getting in the middle of something and separating it and throwing a couple punches if necessary. I know how to use a sword. Sometime during that hour and a half, I would have gotten the sword out and just swung a couple times, and I have the correct form, but you can see that there's no behind the swings. I'm much more comfortable. Weapon put away, shield in front of me.
And Elizabeth hasn't
never trained with a sword, not a quarterstaff.
And even then, you didn't train much with the sword. It was bow, and you weren't good at it.
We don't talk about it.
Did Elizabeth have picked up a bow at all during this?
No.
No? Okay. So Elizabeth really only has her quarterstaff. So you can tell she's done a little bit, but not a lot of fighting with it. And then Shump looks like when she swings down and over her head, she's done it 1,000,000 times, but not hitting someone. It looks almost like she's used to working and doing it because she's helped her father.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
How's Owen look with his weapons?
He's seen combat, but obviously his right arm, it's he has a prosthetic one, so he's a bit rusty with that arm. It's a bit more he's not swinging as well as he does with his other arm.
Cool.
That arm is also having a harder time gripping the sword. Like it's gripping it closer to this rather than the actual regular sword grip. It's like all the fingers have to close at the same time. That kind of idea. So,
while we are doing group maneuvers and stuff, I'm positioned on his softer side.
So after the hour and a half of you guys all working together, the two teachers are pretty much just kind of leaving you guys be and watching, observing. Every so often they give little tips on here, let's try this instead, or let's not do that. Trying to get the 4 guys to not be nearly as rowdy because they keep actually getting hurt. At one point, one of them completely dislocates his shoulder, and he's just laying on the ground. That was your fault, man. And somebody comes over and they pop it back in, they heal him and everything. And they immediately go back to training like nothing happened. So after that hour and a half, those 4 guys kind of stay in there. The 4 rich kids immediately leave. They go to their rooms. They know where they're going. Are you guys all going to stay there, or are you going to go to your rooms?
I'm going to go to my room.
I'm going to stay a little bit longer.
No. The principal already left.
I'm going to stay a little longer, especially if anybody else is staying. I'm going to go to the opposite end and practice with the sword a little bit more. But
I'll stick with Dorrin and continue sparring for a bit until I decide to go.
I never once actually swing the sword at a person. The entire...
Are you saying no?
No.
Okay. So, the rogue teacher leads the 2 girls up to their room. The girls actually have the same room. There are 3 beds in the bedroom. So after you guys are you're let up by the wizard teacher. Everybody's kind of claiming their own beds, and they separate it there's one room of girls, because there are only 3 in your year, and then there are 3 rooms with guys. So 3 of the really beefy jock guys are in one room. 3 of the 3 of the fancy guys are in one room, and then you 2 end up getting a room with the jock that's the skinniest one of them all. That he's a ranger or a rogue. I don't know, the ranger.
Okay.
Yeah. So that you're in a room with 2 rogues.
Who am I in the room with?
You were in a room with Shump and then with the girl of the fancy group, but she's been really quiet and hasn't spoken like at all. She's still got like a little bit of spaghetti that's in her hair because she couldn't get it out of the back, and like she couldn't have somebody else go in the bathroom with her to get it out. So she's just kind of angrily putting everything in her bag and like sorting everything. So when you guys get to your room, what are you 2 doing? You 2 ladies.
I'm
Yes, she has claimed the bed in the right corner. They're all like spread out.
Taking the other corner.
Yes.
No chance you had the kitten up here.
Nope.
No.
I don't know where it went.
Okay.
Oh. Do we need to pause?
No, we'll find it.
Okay.
I just lost the kitten.
So what does the room look like?
It's pretty simple. There are 3 beds, and then there's a short like cedar chest at the end of each bed. It just kind of opens like a regular chest, but the top is flat. And then there's your whole bed, and there's already a bag on there that's your personal, like it's a backpack of your clothes, stuff like that.
Okay.
But they have yours, since you guys haven't been to your rooms yet, are just kind of at the wall. They didn't put them in a bed yet.
Other corner.
Okay. Immediately, Elizabeth takes the left corner, and then the wizard girl is on the far right.
Okay. So I'll grab my stuff, take it to the last bed, and just like dump it in the chest.
Okay. What are you gonna do? Other than going claiming that bed.
What's the bed already have on it?
The bed already, all of them have like sheets and a blanket that are folded and tucked over, and they're very neat. Like, they look like somebody spent an obnoxious amount of time doing them.
I'm gonna directly put the bag into the chest and see if I can lock it then afterwards.
Fight me. Did you see her?
Yeah.
Tiger just curled up in my lap, and then immediately, as soon as I tried to pet her, she bit me. You're so moody. Alright. So, after a while, it's like 5:30 when you guys come up to your rooms, and then it gets closer to 6. Once it's like 6:30, you all hear that
What's that?
there's
To lock it?
to lock the room.
The chest.
Oh, the chest? It just kind of closes. There's no lock on it. Your room's locked, but the chest isn't.
Sure.
You all hear, like, in your own heads that there is...
Okay. I have 2 rogues in my room, and my chest doesn't lock.
That is correct.
Does it fit underneath the bed?
Nope. It's like
Cool.
2 feet tall.
What does the other guy do?
He takes the bed in the corner, on the left corner. He just wants to kind of be alone. He seems like he's kind of upset that he's not with his friends and that he's the one that was put alone in the room, and the other 3 guys are all together. And you can kind of hear through the wall. You can hear the guys all talking and being idiots. You hear a really loud thud, stuff like that, and he just kind of looks upset.
Bet you could move that bed into that room. Seems to be enough room for it.
I won't tell if you won't.
I don't know if I can move it on my own. I could probably get them to do it.
I am here if you need me.
I should have them do it, because they're the ones that kicked
Yes.
me out.
Yes, you
And he
should.
just kind of gets up, walks out, and then knocks on the door. Suddenly their room is dead silent. And then all 4 of them come running into your room, pick up the bed in the middle, and just, like, hustle it out and into the hallway, and then down the hallway.
And then there were 2.
Yeah, that is
I
the huge...
grab the chest and drag it out. And just leave it on the other side of the door and close the door.
Great. So now it's just you 2 in your room. One's going to take one corner, one's going to take the other.
That's like world record time to get a rogue out of the room.
Yeah.
He wants with his friends, man.
Just gotta know what to say.
After a while, you guys all kind of hear that, like, every student hears it, that it's just in your head. You hear that supper's ready, you can come down to the cafeteria and get it if you want it. If not, you can stay in your rooms and go ahead to bed, do whatever. There is a library that is on the next floor up that you are all welcome to use until 9 p.m., and then you have to go back down to your bedroom.
When that happens, I look annoyed, or I look visibly like I dislike it.
Agitated.
Yes.
You heard that?
What was that?
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Someone's using some sort of mind magic.
Yeah. Don't know how I feel about that. They can get in my head.
Yeah, it is not a good feeling. I'm gonna go check out the library.
Enjoy. I don't move.
Alright. And then Shump and Elizabeth, what are you two going to do?
Get
I'm
supper,
gonna-
eat it, and then go to
I'm gonna go eat supper.
Alright, so you both go down. Elizabeth kind of sits in the corner. There are a shocking amount of students in here, but it's not quite crowded. There are still several empty tables. It's kind of like everyone came down with their whole group except for you two. And then there are a few groups that just didn't leave their room. You can tell there's an entire table that's just completely empty that was full of a bunch of very skinny kids. They're a year above you. They're just kind of not there. They're all in the library with Owen. But they're the only ones really that went to the library. So most of the other people are there. So you two going to sit together, or are you going to separate and be in empty tables?
I was gonna be in an empty table.
I was going to the same spot as that.
Alrighty. So you two are both kind of sitting at their tables alone. Everybody kind of leaves you alone. They're just kind of eating on their own. And then slowly, group by group, everybody goes back to their rooms and immediately just goes to bed because they're tired from the training and everything. So in the library, it's just, there's a few tables. There's rows of bookshelves that are completely full. They're all divided by, like, these are beasts and stuff like that. Are you going to look for any kind of specific book?
I'm just gonna look through the history books, see if there's anything about great adventurers of the past, stuff like that.
Go ahead and roll an investigation. So you roll the d20 and then add investigation in the big skills box.
That's a 1, so I doubt I'm gonna find anything. Let's see, where's investigation?
Well,
1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to... Oh, so, yeah, that's a 3, so...
Alright, so you're walking through the library and, man, you just can't find the history section at all. Like, you find the beast. You find a lot of beast books. And you just kind of keep coming back to that section. You keep finding the beast section over and over and over again.
We lost one.
I was looking at the good camera angle.
It's okay. It's okay. He'll be back. He just kind of keeps talking. Or you just kind of keep finding all of these beast sections. You just keep walking through the same aisle over and over on accident, and finally you just settle for a book, and you just kind of reach out, grab a random book, and it's just about cats.
Cat?
Yep, it's just a book about cats.
Sounds like a cat test.
There are 3 different tables that are bigger than the ones that were at the cafeteria. So at one table there are just 4 people all hunched over books. They all are like quiet, like dead silent, just reading. And there's half-elf, human, an elf, and a gnome. And they're all just, only one of them's female, but they all have pretty long hair except for one, and they're all looking down, but their ears are pointing out. So they're all just staring down. And then there's the shortest one, the male. He's barely able to put his book up, so he has the book on the table. He's looking at the book just straight up in front of his face. So he's sitting at the table kind of just kind of like this, with it sitting on the table.
Mm.
Are you just gonna sit down and read the book? Or are you gonna put it back?
I mean, I might as well start reading it. I came all the way down here, so I mean...
Sit down and start reading this book about cats.
Yes.
Gives you random facts about cats, and I don't have any random facts about cats.
Do you know?
The book has a lot of random facts.
That book.
And you read that book. You read that book so well. How long are you gonna stay up and read the book?
I'm not gonna stay there that long. I mean, as in...
Yeet.
Nope. He shouldn't have permissions to be in here.
He showed up and said yeet, then left.
You need to go back.
I can just
Oh, yeah,
I'll do it later. Yeah. I'll just do it later.
Respect. Wait, nah. If I still have time, I'm gonna try and run by the kitchen and grab something before I head back.
Okay. You go down there and they keep food out. It's, I'm assuming it's probably for like an hour or half an hour, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
You get down there and good timing. I'm putting food away very soon. Actually, it's like 8 o'clock. I'm putting it away at 8:30, so you have some time. And she starts slowly putting things away, like getting it ready to put it away. Almost everybody's gone from that room except for a few people. They're just talking quietly. So you go ahead and eat, and then I'm guessing head to your room.
Yeah.
Right. And then Shump, I'm assuming you went to your room after you ate.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So all of your characters, you've eaten, you're very tired from day one of training at this school and training with new people. So you're all really tired, and I think once you're in your rooms, it's up to you if you go to bed
I
immediately.
need to go to the library.
Oh, you went to the library? Okay.
After 8.
You probably went to the library as Owen was leaving, and you see the group of wizards there. Okay, Stephen. You gonna do anything while you're in the library?
I want to find a goblin book.
A goblin book?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said we were gonna be hunting them, so...
Yeah. Well, it's going to be.
It's just roll the dice, start out.
Because these are the ones that I chose.
Okay.
And that makes sense.
Hi, Kitty. After this, after your characters are all in bed, then we'll end the session.
Okay.
You find a section that's monsters, and you find it, and it's like connected to a section of humanoids. You like figured out what section it would be in, but you can't quite find specifically about goblins. You found a really big book that's just a lot of creatures. It's like that thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
There
Are
are
you gonna
table
pull
of
it out?
contents.
You also find a book about cats.
No, that was it.
Does it say a name on the side of it?
It has a name, but I haven't made one up in my head yet.
Okay.
It's like basically just monsters and humanoids. Something.
Took a lot of effort, so I'll just wait until if I have a chance tomorrow.
Okay, so you're gonna go back to your room then?
Yeah.
So all of you are in your room, Shane's deafened. And are you guys gonna immediately go to sleep once you're in your rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going? Is your character sleeping?
Let me check if everything's still in
In your chest?
chest. Yeah. So everything's still in the bag and chest. Actually, I do want to take stuff out of the bag, so if someone does come inside, hey, I'm gonna take this, they can't just take the bag immediately.
Okay.
Smart.
So you're actually taking everything out. Alright.
I'm gonna be quiet, cause in case he does ever asleep.
Are any of you like specifically locking your door?
Yeah, after Dorrin gets in, I'll lock the door.
Okay. Yeah, Dorrin stayed in. Good out for the drink.
I'm a rogue guy. I'm aware of that kind of crap.
It's in your room or theirs? In your room?
Yeah.
Yep, Shump's already in your room. So you're in your room.
Especially with this scary cat lady.
So the room computer?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, everybody's in their room, so all of your characters just kind of go to sleep on their own. Cat, you don't need to be on me.
She seems to disagree.
So we are going to go ahead and end the session with you guys all sleeping.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and alright. Constrain here. I'm just ending the session. Here, I have your phone. Okay. I'm just gonna start here.
Or you could message it in on Discord because it's right there.
My keyboard's turned off and not on my desk.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Is there, I don't know, is there anything you guys, your characters would do before you actually go to sleep?
I don't think so.
Make sure Kai is comfortable.
Alright. Alright. Okay, yeah, so that is the end of session 1. Shane does now.
Oh, boy.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
so
have to get chased around.
you're very good. So in like, so the 28th would be our next one.
Yeah.
So
28.